Good morning. It is Thursday. It is November. I have to look at the calendar. It is November 7th. So we are 1 week into Diabetic Awareness Month. As you know, the month of November is Diabetic Awareness Month. So I come on here every day. My goal is to share something about the battle with you, whether it's factual, something personally from our story. That's my goal this month. And the reason behind the goal is not to raise sympathy, but to raise awareness and compassion around the disease, around the battle, so that hopefully our kids, when they're out in the wild, as I like to call it, when they're away from home and out in the wild, their journey will be met with more compassion and understanding. What I want to talk today about is the nightmare of nighttime. And this is one of the things that I think is hardest to explain, hey Steph, to people who don't fight type 1 or families that don't fight type 1. Nighttime is a nightmare. And if you've ever been a parent of a young infant, if you've ever had a baby in your home, I hesitate to use this analogy or this comparison because I don't in any way want to indicate that Molly's a baby. But if you remember having an infant at home and you remember that broken sleep and you lay down and you try to get your mind to shut off as fast as it can because you know sleep is a luxury, and before long you're going to be up again, right, helping with your baby. It's what it is as a type 1 parent. 90% of the time, probably 9 days out of 10, we are up with Molly at least one time during the night. And we've taken the stance, Molly's 14. Could she wake up to her own alarms? More than likely, yes. But she's a child and she still needs sleep. She's a competitive swimmer, so her body needs to recover and rest overnight. And so we have taken on the job of the nighttime alerts and alarms. And we volunteered to do that. That's our policy in our home. Other parents may do it differently. But in doing that, when Molly's alarms go off, she sleeps through them. She's downstairs. It doesn't alert for her. We have her turn her phone ringer off. So our phones alert and wake us up. It is exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting to have broken sleep and to be up. So we get alerts if she's too high, if her blood sugar goes above a certain number. For us, we set that number at 150. Again, everybody's numbers are a little bit different just based on what their comfort level is and what their endocrinologist suggests. Ours is 150. It also alerts if she is below 70. And so both of those are critical. If she's high, if she's above 150, it's a pretty fast fix. We go down and we dose insulin. Takes 60 seconds or less, and then we go back to bed and continue to watch it. If it stays high, it'll alert us in another 2 hours. And that time frame is in there because that's how long it kind of takes insulin to fully absorb and react and kind of hit its peak and then start to come back down. You don't want to dose more often than that unless you're really careful and you know what you're doing. So 2 hours is usually the time frame that we allow between dosages. If she's low, it's a much longer process. If she's low, it's a minimum of 30 minutes that we're going to be awake with her. It's often an hour, hour and a half. So the night times are hard. And why they are hard is because our bodies are designed for rest. Our bodies are designed that we need that rest to rejuvenate. When you lay down at night, it's when extra hormones are released. It's when your body kind of goes into recovery mode. So it kind of shifts into a different gear, for lack of a better explanation. So a lot of the times blood sugar kind of goes wonky at night because there are extra hormones, I don't even know the right words. Your body's working at night. Your body's working hard at night. And so often what you would think would be predictable when you go to bed, it can go higher, it can go low, and it can do that without much warning because your body's in recovery mode and it just doesn't react the same at night as it does during the day when you're awake. So night times are really hard. That was probably one of the hardest adjustments for us as a type 1 family when Molly first came home, was adjusting to that broken sleep at night. I shouldn't. I was going to say I should keep track of how many lost hours. It would probably honestly make me sad. I can tell you it is thousands of hours at this point that we've lost in 4.5 years. And let me add, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would rather have broken sleep and allow my daughter to rest and recover overnight. And so I will gladly take that role on every single day for her to be able to sleep while she's in my house. It's an honor to be able to care for her. It's an honor to be awake and know that I'm protecting her while she's sleeping. So nighttime is a nightmare. And it's part of the reason as type 1 parent, it's hard to get our brains to shut off so we can go to sleep. It's hard to sleep solid because you're constantly hearing alarms. And on the rare occasion, like when you have an infant and they sleep through the night and you wake up because you're like, was everything okay? We do that too. We wake up, if we don't have an alarm for a night, we roll over and we're still looking at our phones and checking that number. So it's just hard. It's a hard battle, but it's one that we fight every day. It's one we fight every night, and it's one that we will continue to fight every night. If we ignore it at night, there could be severe complications. And I've had friends that have had kids that have passed away at night because blood sugar dropped so rapidly, so quickly, and they didn't know it, and the kids just don't wake up. There is a horrific saying for type 1, and the saying is dead in bed. I hate it. The first time I heard it, I went, but it's the reality of what we face. And I just share that because I think sometimes people wonder why night times are hard for us as parents, or why we struggle, or why we're so tired. That phrase, dead in bed, has never left my mind. And so I'm extra aware and alert at night while she's resting, and while she's not paying attention, I go on double duty and pay extra attention. So night times are hard. It's why I'm advocating. It's why I'm sharing with you. It's why I am sharing a part of our world with you, so that hopefully someday some of you will help us advocate and find a cure. So please continue to fight with us until type 1 is type none, and I will be on here tomorrow and share some more stuff with you tomorrow. But nighttime, ooh, it's hard. It's hard, and guys, I like sleep. So I'm one of those that has to get at least 7 hours of sleep. I really like 8. So as you can imagine, it's been an adjustment for us. But again, it's an honor to care for Molly while she sleeps. So continue to fight with us until type 1 is type none, and have a great day.